into Attacking Third. It's Sunday night. We are going live immediately following the last match that wrapped up San Diego against Racing Louisville. Spoiler alert, Louisville gets 3 points on the road, 1-0 win over the Wave. We are chatting all about it. Week 17 action in the NWSL, our biggest takeaways. We will chat with a player, get a special interview, and of course, our weekly best 11, the best thing that everyone loves. We're here to deliver it for you. I can't do it alone. Alongside Aaron West and Jordan Angeli, I'm Lisa Carlin. Jordy, right off calling the game to A3. We're happy to have you.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here. And I haven't been with Aaron in so long, so I'm pumped that I'm on a show with him. And I figured I would give you guys the background, a little studio magic. Just go from one direction to the other.
I love it.
Yes.
Aaron, what's up? It's good to see you, my friend.
I am so happy to be here with two of the hardest working women in sports. Always happy to be on Attacking Third. I'm ready to talk about the games.
Yes, we have so much to talk about. A great weekend in the NWSL. Game started on Thursday and they ran all the way through Sunday nights. A bit of movement in the standings as well. Don't worry, we're going to dive all into it. Thanks for hanging with us. If you're watching on Golazo Network, if you're with us live on YouTube, if you're listening as a podcast, thank you. If you are listening as a podcast, I encourage you, come on over to YouTube. Check it out because we got a community, a chat that goes wild. Questions, we jump in the chat sometimes. So come hang out with us on YouTube. But we appreciate it, guys. Thanks for being here. As a heads up, if you don't know, now you know, Attacking Third is a finalist in the People's Choice Podcast Award. Thanks to you, everyone that listens and watch. So if you voted for us in the first round, you may be eligible to vote again. So check your email. If you have something from People's Choice, it's not spam, click on it and give us that final vote. It means the most to us. All right, we are coming off of the immediate match that just ended, San Diego Wave against Racing Louisville. It was a 1-0 win for Racing Louisville on the road, thanks to an Emma Sears chef's kiss goal in the 59th minute. And we are excited because Emma Sears is with us now, joining A3 Live. Hey, Emma, welcome into Attacking Third. Congrats. How are you?
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me. Feeling good, feeling accomplished and proud of my team after that win.
Emma, you should be. I mean, this is a really big deal, not only for you, but for the group to get this win on the road at Snapdragon Stadium, because it's not easy to pick up 3 points away from home. And Racing Louisville does that. Points in 7 of your 9 road games this year. What is different when you guys hit the road? What do you guys have in you that's a little extra spunky that helps you get some points on the road?
Honestly, I think it's just a little bit of the underdog mentality that we've carried with us this season. Being on the road is definitely tough. There's pros and cons to it for sure. I mean, we're all together, spending time together in the hotels on the road. We've been on the road for about a month now. And I feel like these past few games, it's kind of been a tipping point for us, just waiting for that win. And so I'm really proud of the team tonight to have accomplished that.
Emma, tell me about your mental resiliency. You hadn't scored since June 6th, but you get the all-important goal tonight. Tell me about what just keeps you going and fighting, even without the goal so far.
Yeah, I think that's my job as a striker. I know that I need to continue to consistently put myself in positions where I'm either setting my teammates up to score or I'm doing it myself. And so I thought that there were a few opportunities tonight where I could kind of feel it boiling. And yeah, I thought that Ella put in a great ball into the box and I was happy to be able to get that one on frame.
It felt like, Emma, this was your most patient of your opportunities too. At halftime, what was the conversation even within your mind as to like, if I get another opportunity, I'm going to do X, Y, or Z?
Yeah, to your point, I think that my mindset was not if, but when. And I felt the confidence from my teammates building at halftime, getting some taps on my shoulder, saying, it's coming, it's coming. And so I kind of just carried that into the second half, and then it paid off.
All right, Emma, this team for Racing Louisville has been perennial runners-up outside of the playoffs, 9th place team. But I'm gonna say it. This year feels really different.
Woo-hoo.
Feels real. I'm not jinxing anything, Jordan. Don't give me that.
No, I like it.
This year feels really different for Racing Louisville from an outsider looking in. What is it like being on the inside in this club this year? Because we're seeing results out on the pitch and what's coming of it, but how is that starting from inside the club?
Yeah, I love that energy, by the way. I appreciate the confidence. I would say there's just a different feel this year. I think we have a really strong sense of what we're trying to accomplish as a group, who we want to be out on the field. And I think that we're exuding that game in and game out. And so for things to kind of start turning our way, I think it's just about time. And we're looking forward to continuing that throughout the rest of the season.
Emma, Bev Yanez was a teammate of my wife's, and it's been a real pleasure seeing her grow as a coach. You're still a new player in this league. How has it been with you growing as a player and seeing her grow as a coach beside you?
Yeah, I honestly think it gives a little bit of a unique experience. We're kind of going through it together. I've been with her since she was a head coach, and so it's really awesome to see her growth. I think that this season has gone much differently than last year, and yeah, I think that she just has this super strong belief in us as players, and I think that really helps us out on the field.
Yeah, we spoke with, I was just on the call, so I just talked to you a couple seconds ago, Emma. I was the one interviewing you and Jordan.
Hey again.
Yeah, hi again. But actually, Jonas Eideval said Bev Yanez is one of the best coaches in this league, and this is one of the best coach teams. So he knew that it was going to be a difficult match tonight. But you guys, I've been hard on you guys before in the past, because when you're playing top teams, you're not getting points. But the last 6 games, you guys have played the top 4 teams multiple times. You have 2 wins, 2 losses, and 2 draws. You pick up 8 points against the top 4 teams. What does that say about this Louisville team? And was that first win against Orlando, was that the most important win? Did that change your guys' mindset?
That's a good question. I think that was definitely a momentum builder for us. But then going into the break in July, we knew that we needed to start off the second half of the season strong. And as everybody knows, the NWSL can sway numerous ways, and it's always close coming down to when the playoffs are decided. But I think for us, we've just continued that belief. And just because we're playing the top teams, it doesn't mean that we're going to change, what we're trying to do. And so I think that consistency piece is has been the factor that's helped us the most.
All right, Emma, you were pretty shocked when Aaron said that his wife played with Bev. Do you know what Bev was like as a player? Have you heard any stories?
No, I honestly haven't. That's one thing that I haven't heard anything about. But I do feel like sometimes at training, you can kind of see like that player side of her come out. And so I'd be curious to know if there were any stories about her.
Jordan?
She was so good. One of the hardest forwards to play against in this league. Like the way she could hold up the ball, she was so intelligent. And I think that's one of the reasons why she's such a good coach, is because the way her mind thought about the game in that forward position. But she was a beast. Like I played against her. I didn't play with her. And I'm sure Yael, Aaron's wife, has many better stories than just what she did on the field. But yeah, just feisty. She had this little like bite to her, which I know she still does.
I can see that for sure. That adds up.
Did you guys ever get her to play with you at training or anything?
Sometimes when we're doing like small-sided 6v6, she'll jump in and she gets so competitive. So like, that's funny that you say that, because I can see that for sure in her as a player.
Okay, going back to this team outside of Bev Yanez, I got to see a different side of Ella Hase tonight, the rookie. Emma, she's freaking fast. This girl can run, and you're fast. Who's quicker when you guys are doing the wind sprints?
I would say we're probably neck and neck most of the time. But yeah, she has wheels, so it definitely comes in handy.
Who do you feel like this team, we talk about the group as a whole, but do you think that there is anybody that goes a little underrated, that doesn't get talked about that much, Emma? Because I feel like you guys have some really good role players. So I don't know, give a shout out to some of your teammates that don't have to get talked about.
I would say, honestly, Janine Sonis, she stepped into that outside back role. I think that her and I, we roomed together on the road, so we spent a lot of time together, but I think that that's allowed us to really get a good understanding of what we both need on the field. And for her to step into that role, she was playing on the left side as a winger prior to that, but I think that she has done an excellent job, keeping wingers on other teams away from the goal. So she's done a great job.
All right, Emma. So it was Orlando, Washington, now San Diego, all on the road. You said it was about a month. You're going home now after this win on
I'm
the
excited.
road. Okay, what are you going to do first when you get home?
Honestly, I'm just excited to spend time in my apartment, spend time in my own space, probably hit the grocery store, make a few home-cooked meals, and just settle back in. We have 2 home games coming up, and I know that we're all really looking forward to that, so I'm excited.
Yeah,
You better get out there, Louisville. Go watch them play.
Yeah.
Yeah, come out to Lynn Family Stadium. Those will be good games.
Absolutely, especially after this one. 3 points on the road, the game-winning goal by Emma Sears. Congrats, Emma. What an awesome night for you and your team.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, good luck the rest of the way. I'm sure we'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good. Thank you, guys.
Oh, guys, that was awesome. What a great little chat and an absolute goal as well from Emma tonight in this game. Jordan, we got to hear your take and your thoughts on this game throughout the 90 minutes on the call. Fabulous stuff. But Aaron, when you were watching this game between Louisville and San Diego, now knowing it's 1-0, like what stood out to you about this game and ultimately how we got to 1-0 at the end?
Yeah, one of the biggest things that stood out for me is how hard Louisville worked for each other as a team. I thought that San Diego maybe made the work a little bit easier by playing so narrow. At times, I kept hearing Jordan say, "Stretch this pitch out, please." And I was like, "Yes. See, this is why you have this job. You understand." But Louisville worked so well together. You can see they're so well coached. You can see that they both fight for each other. They fight for their coach. They believe in their game plan. They believe in what they're doing, and the work ethic across the board on both sides of the ball is so high that it's the reason they're starting to get these results.
Yeah, I agree with Aaron. Felt like a broken record in moments, and because of Louisville, I think over the last 2 years, Bev Yanez. I don't think this is exactly how Bev Yanez wants to play. If you say, ideally, as a coach, what type of team do you want to coach? I don't think this would be the style of football that she would want. But she said, this is the team I have. We're going to have an identity. And their identity is who they are off the ball. Like Aaron said, they work relentlessly for one another. If a ball gets past them, they are chasing you down. And the goal comes from Hase just like sliding to get a tackle in after she gets beat. Like that is their identity. And when they live it out and it feels like they've all bought in now, that's where the magic happens within a group. Like it might not be how everybody wants to play, but once you buy into it and say, hey, this is how we're going to play and we're going to all do it together, that's what happens. You start getting results and then momentum builds, you gain confidence. And this Louisville team, I agree. I think that they are going to make some waves here at the end of the year.
Is this the year, Jordan, that they get into the playoffs?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
I absolutely hope so for this group. You're talking about their identity, Jordan. They're also a little rough. Like they're going to hit you in the best way. Like you are not going to be comfortable. And I think that was evident in this game against San Diego because the Wave are very pretty on the ball. They're clean.
Methodical,
they're neat. Yes. They want possession and they just want to make it really beautiful in the way they play. And Louisville made it a little bit ugly and disrupted that possession. And it works. 3 points on the road. That is the first time that Racing Louisville has won at Snapdragon Stadium against San Diego. For Emma Sears, that's her 7th goal of the season. So that is a new single season club record for Racing Louisville. And they were able to shut down San Diego. A shutout win for Jordan Bloomer in goal. A big night for her and for Racing Louisville. Now they get to travel home. That's just one match, though. We had plenty others that took place over the course of Week 17. We're going to dive into our biggest takeaways next. Stick with us. back to Attacking Third. It is week 17, and we're talking our biggest takeaways because we had some pretty big results, a couple of draws across the board, but mainly standings changing. So, Jordan, when you look across week 17, you were on a lot of these games. But what is your biggest takeaway from the weekend?
I think it maybe is a accumulation of what's going on, but Chicago has not been the most fun team to call their games. It hasn't been fun being a part of, they've just been in this downward trajectory. And over the last 4 games under Ella Masser, it feels like they are starting to find themselves. And so I feel like it has to be the Chicago team with these 2 draws that they had. I know the first one doesn't count because it was technically the last weekend, but getting a draw at home after losing a couple of times, fighting back, it feels like they've gotten their Chicago grit, like workers, like blue collar worker mentality back. And Ella Masser's done a good job of giving them, I just talking about Bev Yanez giving them identity. I think for Chicago, they have this identity of how they're going to be a little bit more aggressive in their press. When they get the ball, they're going to be closer to each other with the formation that they're playing. So the distances of their passes are shorter. And it's really allowing their players to be successful because it's setting them up for success. So I've been really impressed. And I think that it would be hard not to talk about this weekend if you didn't talk about that 3-3 draw that Chicago pulled off yet again.
I mean, even the fact that they did it on Monday, these games were only 4 days apart. Chicago's able to put up 6 goals in that span.
And Ludmila got a hat trick. Fastest in NWSL. I didn't even mention that part.
Yeah, are you kidding me? The fastest in NWSL history. It comes, just over 10 minutes, 10 minutes and 9 seconds. An absolute record, but you're so right. What's up, Jordan?
Oh, and it was Aaron, it was a perfect hat trick. Left foot, right foot, header.
Left, right header. Yeah. You gotta love that. I'm a little bit upset that your takeaway was a Chicago takeaway because my takeaway was also a Chicago takeaway. I love Ella Masser as a person. I love her as a manager. Everything that comes out of her mouth, post-match, pre-match, it's so on point. I love how business-like she is. I love the belief that she's given a Chicago team. They fight just like her. If you ever watch her as a player, they fight exactly like she does. They're so tactically sound. And this team was down and out, like Jordan said. They looked like they were just bedraggled, like there was zero hope. And now there's a beautiful thing about watching a team that plays with a freedom of having no consequences, and it plays under a manager that believes in them. And that's what we're seeing with the Chicago team. They have no fear because they have nothing to lose, but they're going to keep playing, and there's a chance they sneak close to playoffs. I don't think they will quite make it, but I've said this before. I think they will make a good push for it.
I have a question. They have a new manager coming in at the beginning of the year. They're supposed to have an interim manager coming in right now. Would you even do it?
Do what?
After how they're have the interim come in now. They're playing so well under Ella Masser.
If I was in charge of Chicago, I would keep Ella at all costs.
Yeah, I just feel like they're playing well right now. It's going to be, how does that disrupt what they're doing and the belief that they have and the unity that they have under Masser? I know that she will stay in the coaching staff, but
it's different. It's a little different. Well, Ella Masser's not available for the next game for Chicago due to her yellow cards that she picked up.
That's exactly what Aaron just said.
That's perfect. That's
exactly.
Perfect.
Yeah,
I love her answer to that.
Exactly. She's suspended for the next game, but I think every team in the NWSL has an X factor. And sometimes it comes down to an individual, but for this Chicago team, it is their stubbornness, their grit, their resilience. It is this identity that watching the game on Friday night, I texted Mike Watts at the 72nd, 73rd minute, and I said, hold on to your hat because Chicago comes alive in the 75th minute. And before you know it, it was like, bam, bam, the final 15 minutes, they get 2, and then North Carolina gets another one and they respond. It's a little terrifying if you're in opposition now that has to take on a Chicago team, because we've seen it twice now, teams going up multiple goals over them. But with Anders Jakobsen coming in as the interim head coach, he has to be able to fuel that fire and keep this group going in the right direction. Jordan, to answer your question, I don't think Chicago can go back and say, hold up, Jakobs.
I know. No,
We're
I know
gonna
they
win.
can't, but it's like, they finally got something good going for them, and there's yet another change. Like, that's where it's difficult, I think, from my point. If I was a player, I'd be like, come on already.
Is this good for Chicago? They haven't won, but they've picked up points.
They've played a lot better. It has been entertaining. It has been there is a life about them again. And I think some of their games,
distinct vibe shift.
there is a distinct vibe shift. So when you watch the games, you feel like they're in it. And I think a lot of the games at the first part of the season, you know, they were playing in so many different ways. You just were like, man, they are stretching to just like stay alive. But now there is life and it is fun. And I do think one of the benefits is all of these players in this formation, and it's a hybrid, like diamond. It's not truly a diamond midfield, but at times it is. But the players that they have space in front of them to run into. They have tighter connections with each other. And so it's hard to say it's that much better if there aren't wins, but these draws are important. You can tell that they are gaining momentum and belief in like, hey, at least we're going in the right direction, and things are changing, because it's been a couple of difficult years for Chicago.
Unbeaten in 4 games now for the Stars, but they will be without their interim head coach, Ella Masser, as Chicago travels to DC next weekend. We'll talk about it later this week when we start previewing those games. But Aaron, what else stood out to you this weekend in week 17 across the league?
This is a big homer take, but I think that in watching the struggles of this Gotham team recently, I think they're like 1 or 2 pieces away from being a real problem. In recent, this team this year lacks the control that has been the signature of Gotham so far. They defend really well, 3rd best defense in the league. They create a lot of good chances, but they're not the best quality chances, and we still don't see that, like I said, the control that we've seen in the past. But there's one, I think they're 1 or 2 pieces away from it really starting to click, and that's both my belief and what I see.
Yeah.
That's a little bit of hope and a little bit of view.
Aaron, I'm glad you brought that up, because it's kind of a head scratcher as to why Gotham is not getting results, because we've seen them, you know, at this time of the season, especially start to run downhill and gain momentum. What are those pieces?
I think it's a piece in midfield. I think it's I love Jalen Howe, and I think that she is one of the best 6s in the league, could be one of the best 6s in the world. I think Roosevelt is still struggling a little bit coming back from injury, but I think that kind of tempo setter, it was Delaney Sheehan in the past. Yasmin Ryan had stepped in a couple times in that role, but right now I don't know if they have that player. But once that player is there, I think they really will. It will click. It's just the tempo is not there. The cohesiveness in possession is not there, and I think that really sets the tone for everything with Gotham. If they're not comfortable in possession, they concede chances out of possession. They play so high up the pitch that if they're not safe with the ball, they can concede chances that way. So I think it's really that piece of keeping control of the game, not just the ball, the game overall.
And the way that Gotham plays, they want to go through their midfield, and without someone that's actually going to take control of it, it's a little different and difficult for them. Dealing with some players out, getting back from injury, but Orlando, y'all, we got to see them for the first time after the news of Barbara Banda. She is placed on the season-ending injury list for Orlando Pride, so she will miss the remainder of the season. It's her right adductor tendon that is injured, but now Orlando are winless in their last 5, and they took on an Angel City side that hasn't been at their best over the last couple of games either yet. And Alyssa Thompson golazo, absolutely, in the second half, helps lift Angel City over Orlando. And I was as disappointed as I was in watching Orlando play in this game. It just, they did not look like themselves. I think the absence of Banda is going to hurt them until they can all get on the same page with how they're going to use their hold-up play a little differently, who they can send in behind with or without Jackie Ovalle coming into the mix. But guys, I was really impressed with Angel City. They controlled this game against Orlando. They dominated. They were able to create a lot of chances in different ways, whether it was going centrally or sending the balls wide. There was so much variety coming from Angel City, and ultimately it broke through and it gives them those 3 points to help them in the standings. I mean, this was a huge win for Angel City, and I liked this game for them because I was high on Angel City at the start of this year, and then they hit a bit of a slump and a streak, and I think we're back on the right track with Angel City.
They finally are feeling comfortable under their new manager, and that was Alex Krause's first win in NWSL. And you do it against a team in Orlando where, this is the realities of the league. When teams aren't playing well, you have to get points against them. It is essential, especially for Angel City, to do that at home. So that I think, yes, Angel City is high flying. Like, they should score way more goals than they have scored. And they proved that at the beginning of the season that they can be one of the best goal scoring teams in this league. How are they going to look under Alex Krause? There's rumors of potential players leaving this Angel City team. Well, I think that their identity is still kind of like getting tweaked and who they're going to be. But that type of win last minute against an Orlando team is important. And it'll be interesting to see how Orlando shapeshifts. I think it might have to be a little bit of a formation change because they have so many good defenders. Do you play in a 3-5-2? Do you start off and try to get to maybe faster players out on the field? Maybe it's a Doyle and a Watt up front. Ovalle can play centrally or in one of those wingback positions. I don't know how they're going to utilize Ovalle or when she'll even be available and ready to play. But it feels to me that the way that Orlando wanted to play is going to be so different now because they're not going to have the presence of Banda. So how can you get some more pace out on the field that helps with kind of how you wanted to play before, but gives you also a little different look? So maybe it's two traditional wingers, which they don't normally play with. I don't know. I'm curious to see what Seb Hines does. He typically has a good answer for those things.
Can they do it? Can they maintain where they are right now and stay at the top of the standings, Jordan, without Banda?
They're not gonna, they're not gonna win the Shield this year. Kansas City, I think, is pretty much said that's ours to lose. But Orlando will keep themselves in the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely.
And when it comes to playoffs and it comes to momentum at the end of the year, I think anything can happen. And so I'm going to say they'll be top 8 for sure. But I don't think they'll be top 4.
Yeah. Wow. No home field advantage for.
I don't. With the way that they're playing right now, I don't think they will be.
We'll see about that one. It was a big day on Saturday in the NWSL on CBS for baseball. Let's go, because we hit an NWSL record-breaking crowd. Over 40,091 fans. History made at Oracle Park in San Jose as Bay FC hosted the Washington Spirit. I mean, this is insane. The previous attendance record was just over 35,000 for an NWSL single match. And that was at Wrigley Field just a year ago when Chicago hosted Bay. And now Bay get to host Washington Spirit and have this incredible sellout crowd with an electric game. They end up falling to Washington Spirit 3-2. But man, Rachael Kundananji, guys, if we can get her cooking a little bit more, I am nervous, Aaron, about what we could see from Kundananji and the whole team at Bay.
This is the Kundananji I think we thought we were going to see when the transfer record was broken to bring her to this league. She is so dynamic when she's on. She's still only 25 years old. She's still got plenty of time to grow as a player. But I think she struggled a bit with this Bay team that doesn't create a ton of chances. She's been in and out of form. She hasn't really clicked yet, but if she can click like she did over this weekend, oh man, she has it. She really is a complete striker when she is playing well. She can run in behind. She can hold the ball up. She can take players on one-on-one. She can create for herself, for others. She can score headers. So we saw the best of her, and I hope we see more of that, just not against Gotham.
And she's young. Yeah, right. She's young, Aaron, but she's also only played organized soccer this is her 8th year.
That's crazy.
Playing on a team where isn't that wild? So she is going to continue getting better. And I think one of the things that she is learning the hard way is when you are the star player, there's a lot of expectations on you. And she hasn't had to have that before. And so it's the times and the moments where it doesn't feel like the weight of the world is on Rachael Kundananji's shoulders and she can play with a little freedom. Like they were losing bad. And it didn't look like it was going to be good for this Bay team. And then
they were down 3-0 in this game.
Were down 3-0. And that's what I mean. Then the weight goes off. You're like, I don't know. We're not even going to get back in this. And then all of a sudden, this beautiful header, which we see when she plays for Zambia, right? We see her do these in international play because there's other players around her who get some of the focus. So I think that, yes, I hope we see more of this from Rachael Kundananji, but what a sight. I'm so proud of my friends out there who dreamt big and were like, we're going to do it. We're going to break this record. Not only that, they had Barry Bonds there. Too Short performed on a dugout. I was like, this is so Bay Area. It made me so happy watching them just soak in the moment. And for those 40,000 fans that showed up, like, you set a bar, and I am excited for the next time the bar is broken because it feels like it is just continuing to be like, all right, how can we do this bigger? Can we do it in a football stadium? Can we sell out? You know, why isn't Seattle trying to sell out where they play, which I can't even think of the name of it. Lumen. Lumen. You know, let's just keep going big. I like it.
Let's keep going. Get another one and another one. Well, guys, we did finally get another record broken tonight. One that has been hanging in the rafters for what feels like years, because Sofia Huerta becomes the NWSL all-time assist leader. Her assist in Seattle's 1-1 draw against her assist, to Jordan Huitema gave her 32nd NWSL assist. This record was shared by Lynn Biondolo, our own Jess McDonald, Vanessa DiBernardo, all at 31. I mean, Jess McDonald, the last time she played in the league was a couple years ago. She had that record for so long. And now it finally gets broken by Sofia Huerta. She went on loan. We were like, when is this record going to be broken? And she does it tonight in pretty fabulous fashion. So congrats to Sofia Huerta and all that she brings. And finally, she gets to hold that one. J-Mac, I'm sorry. I know you've been holding on to that one for a while.
Very fitting that it was like a perfectly flighted in cross as well.
Yeah.
Very, very fitting.
To a head goal, like, it couldn't have been better.
It's very Sofia Huerta-esque. So congrats to her and congrats to everyone around the NWSL this weekend. But were you good enough to make our A3 weekly best 11? Because this is where the stakes get really high. Stick with us. We're bringing you our best 11 next. Hey, welcome back to Attacking Third. It is time for a Week 17 weekly best 11. We're doing forwards, midfielders, defenders, and goalkeeper. We'll throw in a coach and a captain of the week. If you have any nominees, let us know in the chat, in the comments on social media. Who'd we miss? Who do you want to see in the weekly best 11? Shall we start with you, Aaron, at the front, the goal scorers, the people that get it all done?
Let's do it. I'm going to start with Ludmila. Hat trick after being subbed on at the half is one of the easiest choices I've ever had to make. I mean, come on. I'm going to also add Rachael Kundananji to that list. I thought her helping bring this Bay back into the game, even though they didn't pull it out, she was really, really good. And it gave me a lot of hope for her in this league. And then I originally had Croy Bethune in my front three, but I'm not going to steal her from Jordan. So I'm going to go ahead and put Timwa Chawinga in there. Goal against Portland. She keeps scoring goals. I feel like she will never stop. Even when the season's over, she's going to be somewhere just in her backyard scoring goals.
I love the shout for Ludmila. Absolutely. I think that's like a unanimous vote. We got to have her in there. I have a shout for Alyssa Thompson for the goal that she scored with Angel City, because it was an amazing goal and it helped them get the win.
I'm going to swap her out for Timwa. I like that. I like that.
Okay.
Thank you, Lise.
Yeah, this is a collaborative effort.
It's a team. It's a team. We are a team.
Any shouts from you, Jordan?
I was thinking of those two. I was thinking either Emma Sears or Alyssa Thompson scoring big goals to help their team win games, or especially, I mean, I think more Angel City, right? Because they've been in such a terrible run of form that I'm going to sway a little bit more to Alyssa Thompson, but Emma Sears should be in there too, because that's maybe not the biggest win in I don't know. Maybe I would say biggest win of Louisville season. Yeah, I would say that. So
I think that's very valid to say.
I can respect that.
I also have an honorable mention in the front line, but not deserving of weekly best 11 yet, for Svendis Jonsdottir, because we are starting to see all the hype around this Icelandic player. She's finding herself in NWSL, getting into really good pockets. Everything that she does on the ball this week looks more confident and elevated than it has even just from a week ago. So I'm just going to say, keep an eye out for Jonsdottir, because she's probably going to be in our weekly best 11 coming up.
You know what I like about her? She's like, she looks like all pretty and innocent, and she is feisty. She is really feisty, and I like that about her. Like, she gets in battles with every outside back she goes up against. So, I love Jonsdottir too. I love that Laura just said that. I'm right with you. So, all right. So is that like a preview of what's to come?
She's like, watch. She's going to be on our best 11. I feel it. She's getting there. Not this week, but coming up. All right, Jordan, midfield. Take us through, my pal.
Midfield. I gotta go Croy Bethune. Aaron just mentioned it. I'm putting her in the midfield. I thought we are seeing, like, it just feels like slowly we're seeing her come back to life, like back to where she was fully fit again. I think the break was really good for her to hone in on some of the little things that she wants to do. And this system under Adrienne Gonzalez is perfect for her, with the plethora of talent she has around her. Her and Lacey Santos work together really well. So I'm going Croy Bethune with that goal that she scored. You got to step when Croy Bethune is dribbling at the top of the box. She's just going to.
Is that her first of 2025?
Yeah.
That's so crazy to think.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah. Okay. Great shout.
Yep. And then my second player that I chose is Claire Hutton. I thought Claire Hutton was a beast in that game, especially, And
I can't help you now, because I was gonna. If you needed another name, I was gonna suggest her.
Well, we were on the same page. I thought Hutton was just. Last year she was defensively so good, but she lacked that calmness when she got on the ball, and it feels like she has now brought these two pieces together and she's 2 years
away from being able to legally drink. This is crazy.
Child.
She's still a teenager.
She was so good. Imagine being that good as a teenager, Aaron. Maybe just that good ever. Like, for me, I'm like, wow, you're so good. So Claire Hutton, and then I'm going to actually go with a Racing Louisville player. I'm going to say Taylor Flint, because I thought the organization by Flint and her ability, aerial duels, interceptions, tackles, but also her ability when San Diego did go in transition, I thought there were a number of times where she just like shepherded it into a situation where there were numbers. And so I think Taylor Flint had yet again a really good game, and that's going to be my 3 in the midfield, unless you guys have any other suggestions of people who had really good games.
I have a nominee for Ashley Sanchez of North Carolina Courage.
I thought of her.
She played, I think, one of her better games of the entire season in this game for North Carolina against a really like bizarre Chicago team, right? Like, this is a crazy team that they're playing against. But Ashley Sanchez did a really good job of like controlling her controllables in this game. I think like when she got the ball, she was impactful on it. I think she got the assist for Manaka.
The assist to Mascuba was ridiculous, by the way. So I'm glad you mentioned it.
So I don't know who I would take out of your midfield, Jordan, but I'm gonna throw my nominee in there for Ashley.
Love a good honorable mention.
Yeah, those games with Sanchez are the games that you're just like, why isn't it like this every game?
Yes.
I think you just see these glimpses of like, whoa, she's so excellent. What do you think, her or Taylor Flint?
I think Flint.
I go with Flint.
Okay.
I think Flint. Yeah. All right, Taylor Flint. I like it. Defense, the best in the game. But this one was really hard this week, guys, because the defense across the NWSL wasn't questionable at times.
Wasn't great.
Definitely not coming from that 3-3 game, is it?
Questionable defense. So number 1 on my list, Ellie Wheeler. An absolute goal for Kansas City to start the game as well. She comes up into more of an attacking position, but she does a lot of work on the defensive side that I think goes unnoticed with the way Kansas City's defensive structure is set up. But she mitigates a lot of danger that Kansas City faces. Kate Del Fava.
She also got the assist. She got a goal and an assist in that game.
Ellie Wheeler all the way.
Yeah.
Kate Del Fava for Utah Royals, because Utah they've been on a struggle bus, but back-to-back shutouts for them and against Esther. And Kate Del Fava quieted Esther, who was leading the Golden Boot race coming into this weekend. And I'm going to give a shout to Kate Del Fava. Now, my other ones are a little questionable. I'm going to go with Sam Staub because she had 2 assists to Ludmila's goals. Now, there was some defensive efforts from Chicago and Sam Staub that were quite questionable. But when Staub is on the ball, opposition just try to eliminate her being on the ball in general. But she is still able to create space for herself as a center back, thread balls through, break lines with her passes. She's got great vision. So I'm throwing Sam Staub in there. I almost threw in Yasmin Ryan because her defensive efforts were nuts for Houston, but I'm not doing that.
I know I'm getting tired, but did I hear that one right?
Aaron was like this.
Guys, I was pulling teeth looking for defenders. Sofia Huerta, 32 assists, my gal.
Shout
get in this mix as well.
That's a good shout, Sofia Huerta. I also thought Jess Carter was really, really good for Gotham. We talk about how this Gotham team has struggled to create goals and score goals, but they have been really, really good defensively. I love Jess Carter at the center of the back. They kept another clean sheet. So there's my homer shout for the day.
Yeah, that's a good one. Do you have any other defender shouts, Jordan, that we're missing?
You could put 2 keepers in, and Katrin Berger and Mandy McGlynn.
Yeah. Kayla Sharples. I thought Kayla Sharples was again.
Sharples always does so well every week.
That might be the defender of the year at the end of this season, just with how well she's been playing. No.
Okay, so my goalkeeper, can I tell you this one now?
Yeah.
Hannah Siebert out of
I was gonna say her. I think that's a great shout.
Let's go. She not only got a shutout in her second start ever in the NWSL against the reigning champions and Shield winners in Orlando. And it wasn't like she wasn't tested. She had great saves, kick saves, reactionary saves. And we're finally getting to see her in the NWSL play like the veteran that she is, because she's been playing professionally for 9 years. She is so calm on the ball when they build out. And despite only playing for 2 games with Angel City in the back line in front of her, I've been really impressed with Siebert and what
I'm glad you mentioned how calm she is on the ball too. She misplaced 1 pass. 1 out of 36 times.
Wow.
36
they use her. They use her a lot.
Yeah,
they
she actually plays with the ball, and she
back.
only misplaced 1 pass.
We spoke with her last week after her first start, and I said, "What are you going to remember about this? It's your first shutout." And she was like, "That my family was here," and
so sweet.
Like it was just the sweetest thing. So I also like her and her perspective. So I'm with you. I'm not even going to challenge you on that.
Let's go. Hannah Siebert in goal. Okay. Coach of the week, captain of the week. Does anyone have any nominees? I have
Coach of the week. I'm nominating Bev Yanez.
Okay.
I'm with you.
I'm going to nominate
at San Diego after your 3rd straight game on the road.
Good. I'm going to nominate Ella Masser because not
I'm not
only
gonna
does he
fight
get
you on it.
another yellow card, but
Can't do it next week.
2 come from behind draws in the same week. I like the shout for Bev Yanez, but I do want to throw Ella Masser out there because
Oh,
it's
I'm
been fun to
torn.
watch her.
Which way do I go?
Pick one, Jordan. You're our tiebreaker
Oh.
today. Comments. Let us know on
Yeah.
YouTube. We're
Can we,
getting
like,
a lot of
flip a
cosigns for
virtual
Bev
Can we
Yanez.
do a vote?
Yeah, we can do a vote. We can do a vote. Come
A
on,
vote.
Mark. Hook us
A
up with a
vote.
vote. A vote. Let us know. Do you want Bev Yanez or Ella Masser? Okay, Captain of the Week. Does anyone have any nominees? We're getting a lot of Bev Yanez in the chat.
I mean, I know we put Sofia Huerta in, but she just broke a league record. That could be one.
Okay, I have a nominee.
Okay.
I'm going to do the ownership group at Bay because of what they were able to do and grow an expansion team in their second year, having a sellout crowd. Like, that's pretty badass.
Okay.
I can rock with that.
You know that the captains are just like, you know.
Does Too Short also, does he get to be in it?
Yeah, for sure.
And Duda Paval because she hosted. I feel like all those people. I like that. Bay ownership group.
I can go with that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Bay ownership group. Wow.
Good
And
job,
we are going to
Lisa.
go with Bev Yanez for our coach of the week.
Wow. It was tight.
That was a tight vote.
I think
Thanks
that's
for voting.
properly respectful to Ella
55%.
Masser and Bev. It's a good, I think 55-45 is properly respectful for everyone. It's
Absolutely.
great.
Ella has been our coach of the week as well, with how well she's done with Chicago and taking
Mhm.
over.
Mhm.
I just honestly, the yellow card and her being suspended, I was like, this is awesome. Like,
Yeah.
it's about time we get feisty coaches up in here.
Seriously.
Guys, this was a blast. Thanks for hanging with us. Everyone on YouTube, on Golazo Network, listening as a pod. Final thoughts, Aaron, as we close out week 17, another week in the NWSL books?
This league is the gift that keeps on giving. I love the chaos. I love the quality. I love the stories. It's just fun to be able to work in this league and get to cover it. It's a blessing. That's what it is.
Yeah. My final thoughts is this table is tight and there is good. Like I can't wait for the end of this year because I think it was 2 years ago where it just shuffled so much right at the end. I think we're going to have the same thing where teams are going to move up and down a lot. So you're going to want to watch these last few weeks. It's starting to feel like, it's time to grind and get those points. So I'm excited.
Absolutely. For Racing Louisville, they jump up to 7th this week. That's a pretty big move for them after they pick up the win. 3 straight results for them in their last 3 games, all 3 of those on the road. Aaron, Jordan, it has been an absolute pleasure chatting footy
Always a
with
pleasure
you.
to be
Thanks,
here.
guys,
Yes.
for hanging with us. Thanks, everyone, for listening, for joining us. Tell a friend to listen to the pod, to join us on YouTube, because we are always dropping shows. Speaking of, mark your calendars. Tomorrow, Monday, 4:30 p.m. Eastern time. We go live on YouTube, and it's an all-star crew. Lola Banda, Darian Jenkins, McCall
Yes.
Zerboni. They're chatting all things footy, so join them tomorrow, and we'll see you back here for more Attacking Third this week. Have a great night, everyone. For Aaron, Jordan, and Mark, I'm Lisa. This was Attacking Third.